What's up, guys? So what do you get when you cross Vampire Survivors with a Path of Exile like skill tree? You get the indie shoot 'em up game Talented. In today's video, we're going to go over Talented and whether or not it's worth your hard-earned clams. So let's jump into it. If it's your first time here, when I review games, I don't give arbitrary numbers like a 5 in story or 7/5 in game mechanics or 10 out of 10 for being a video game. I find the number ratings of other reviews to be arbitrary and, well, mostly BS. I mean, it's very easy to tell what a 1 is if we're going from a 1 to a 10 scale, 1 being the worst and 10 being the best. But what does a 3 mean? What does a 6.5 mean? What does an 8 mean? Right? You understand what I'm saying. But how I will rate a game is I will either tell you it's worth buying and paying full price for, it's worth buying and playing, but maybe wait for a discount or a sale, or it is not worth buying or playing at all unless somebody gifts it to you. So now that that's out of the way, let's look into Turtlefox's game, Talented. Talented is an arcade roguelike shoot 'em up with randomly generated skill trees. You'll need to survive 20 increasingly difficult nights, and each night will progressively produce bigger waves and harder and more difficult enemies. There are 6 different character classes, each with their own unique playstyles, builds, strengths, and weaknesses. When you first boot up the game, you'll start off as the Archer class, which fires long-ranged arrows but has low defenses and doesn't do a ton of damage until you upgrade either his abilities or his auto attacks. Each class starts off with a choice of one of 2 abilities to start with. For example, the Archer can choose to use either the Quick Fire ability, which makes your next 7 arrows have 50% increased attack speed, or the Explosive Trap, which places a trap that explodes for your attack damage and hits all nearby enemies. As you level up the classes, you will unlock perks that will make each run just a little bit easier. Some examples of this are getting increased range on attacks, or giving your attacks a chance to lifesteal, or higher crit, etc. One of my favorite things about this game is that there is a surprising amount of depth when it comes to how you build your character. After each night, you will accrue skill points that you can spend on various abilities and stat improvements. The skill trees are randomly generated and they are gigantic. They literally look like a Path of Exile skill tree. The catch is, though, is you do not see the whole skill tree and you only get to see a few points ahead, while the rest of the tree is shrouded in darkness. So you do not know what you're pathing towards, making it equally parts frustrating and fun. It's frustrating when you path towards a dead end or talents that you don't really need or care for, but it's really fun when you put together a ridiculous bonkers build. To make things even more interesting is you will get skill packages that will randomly appear on the tree that will transform talents into specific things tailored towards a specific type of build. For example, you might get a package that gives you a higher chance to crit and to have cool things happen when you do crit, like making enemies explode or spawning blobs that come out of the corpses to attack the other enemies. The 6 playable classes are unlocked as you play, and not only are they very different from each other, but they also have different ways to play the specific class. So, for example, the Summoner class, which is my favorite class by the way, this should come as no surprise to anyone that's been in my channel for any length of time. One of my regulars actually joked around with me saying that I always play a Summoner or Necromancer type class because I don't have any friends and I have to summon or make my own friends. Yeah, that one hurt a little bit.
Emotional damage! Where's the therapy?
But anyways, instead of shooting an arrow or shooting a magic missile or swinging a sword at the enemy, the summoner summons these cute little snails that move down the lane and attack enemies as they go. The summoner can completely focus on summoning, making a giant army of blobs, skeletons, and wasps, or they can completely sacrifice their summons to make their base attacks empowered. And that's just 2 of the packages, and there are dozens to choose from, making each run fun and different. My only real complaint with the game is it's somewhat easy on the lower mastery levels. There are 25 mastery levels, and I've completed 24 out of the 25, and I didn't really start failing runs until around mastery 15 or so. But once you get to 15 and past, oh boy does it get hard. And if you don't have a solid build set up, you're gonna get rocked. But the early levels are pretty easy and you can get by with basically anything. The amount of depth that's in this seemingly simple game is kind of crazy. You have a ton of build potential with over 500 talents to choose from, allowing each run to be fresh and interesting. There's the base game, which is just the standard mode. There's an endless mode, which is just that. It's endless until you die or just want to stop playing. And there are challenge modes, which puts a spin on how you tackle the game. Now, I'm not normally one for challenge modes or achievement hunting or anything like that. I will just usually play the game and usually play it on the hardest difficulty if there is a difficulty choice available, but I don't usually mess with challenge modes or things like that. But I did check out the challenge mode for talented, and it's actually really cool. It puts a unique spin on the game, and it's not just, hey, you have no life or you die in one hit, etc. So, for example, one of the summoner challenges, you're actually the dungeon and you're spawning monsters trying to kill the summoner. There's a bandit one, which you have to manage your money and try to get to 1,000,000. I think it's coins, but just using the talent tree. So it's really cool when it puts it's a completely different way to play the game, which I thought was really interesting. So I highly recommend this game. It is definitely worth purchasing, and it's only $3 on Steam. And if you don't want to commit the $3 or you don't think that it's worth it or whatever, there is a free web-based demo on their website, and you can just check it out and try it out there. Right now, I've got about 20 hours into this game, which isn't a whole lot, but I definitely got my money's worth and then some. I'll leave a link to the Steam download page as well as their website for the demo. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please consider liking and subscribing, as it means the absolute world to me and it costs you nothing. I make weekly content on various gaming topics like build guides, game reviews, gaming news, stuff like that. Until next time, have a great day/night. See ya.